Okay, guys, let's watch this video together.
You found out that your husband-to-be raped his younger sister when she was 16 years. And in fact, the boy that he introduced to you as his younger brother is not his younger brother. That is his son. A product of that mess. And in that confusion, you approached your mother-in-law to be and said, Mama, see what is happening. And she opened her mouth and told you that boys will be boys. She looking at me. Eh?
In respect to me talking about gender expectation, the gender expectations based on the culture of the present society that we are in. And it kind of boils down to the kind of training or what I exactly said in that video about gender expectations, what we expect from girls, especially when they are growing up, and what we expect from boys while they are growing up. And this saying that I hear very, very commonly with people around me, boys will be boys. And I must say, I've also said it. So let us watch this video together. Then we'll now dissect it and talk about it more.
She began by greeting us upon her duly observed. That is it. Her name is Ngozi. Now, Unga baby has been what in a serious relationship with her. That is her man, the man that God said is the bone of her bone and the rib of her ribs. They have been dating for 2 years. Now, he have engaged her. He said, baby, I want to marry you. So they are at the fiancé stage, right? Of course, at this stage, you will think better you know everything about your man. You've been dating him for 2 years. He have proposed. You know everything about him. According to her, she thought she knew everything. His family, his mother, his dad, his siblings. Now, by siblings, she thought, thinking that he had 2 siblings, one younger sister and a younger brother. But alas, she was wrong. How was she wrong? She said she was on her own, minding her goddamn business. The younger sister of her fiancé sent her a message. Now, let's backtrack a little bit. According to Ngo, she said that for the 2 years they were dating, she had tried to reach out to his younger sister, at least to be friendly with her, but she noticed that the girl was a bit cold towards her. She would give her one-line responses, that kind of thing. She said, okay, no wahala, let her just, be on her own. By the way, the younger sister is not in Nigeria. The younger sister is in Canada. Do you understand? But she will try and, reach out once based on, say, you're my sister-in-law, now let's be friends. But the girl was cold. She felt that maybe, you know what, let me just be on my own and respect myself. Anyway, let's come back. So she was on her own now. The younger sister that was doing her, the more you look, the less you see, giving her one-line responses, now reached out to her. She said, this girl sent me a message. What happened? Let me go and check. She now said, are you free to talk? She said, yes. She said, okay. Next thing, the sister-in-law to be begin to call her phone. She picked up. She said to her, the only reason I had not said this to you all this while was because you and my brother were just dating. I didn't think that people were actually going to get married. But now that it's looking like marriage is in the pipeline, I want to ask you a question. Are you aware that the man you're about to marry is a rapist? She said she could. Then she shocked. She calmed down. She said, excuse me, what are you saying? She said, I repeat, that the man you're about to marry is a rapist. She said, what do you mean by your brother is a rapist? What are you saying? She said, for your information, that man raped me when I was 16 years old. I got pregnant and I gave birth to a male child. That male child is the boy that you think is his younger brother and my younger brother, while in fact that boy is my son. She said, Charles, that I was confused for a moment. Then I asked her, sorry, Ekene is your son, not your brother? She said, yes, he's my son. My family covered it up and sent me out of the country because my parents were trying to do stuff in politics. I gave birth in Canada to my son, and they took him from me and brought him to Nigeria. She said, I know it's a lot for you to digest right now, but that man you're about to marry is not a good man. And if he claimed he loved you, he should have told you this. And then she cut the call. She said, Charles, that my heart, my body, my hand, everything was shaking. And she started calling her fiancé. Fiancé wasn't picking up. And because she has a good relationship with her mother-in-law to be, she drove straight to her mother-in-law's house. Mother-in-law to be's house. And she saw her mother-in-law to be. That one was happy. And then welcome. She said, Mama, please, can I talk to you? She said, yes, what's the problem? She said, please, I need the truth and nothing but the truth. That one said, what is the problem? Now talk to me, I will tell you the truth. Again, that's how Ungo now opened her mouth and told her mother-in-law to be everything that her sister-in-law to be just told her. She said, Charles, I was not ready for the next words that dropped out of somebody that called herself a mother. I said, Nele Hokuri, what did she say? Tell me now, this juice is piping hot. She said that her mother-in-law opened her mouth to eat to drink garri and sugar and salt with crayfish and pepper and told her that boys will be boys now. Jesus. Hey! Hey, you say, Mama, you say what? So this one is in the past now. Let sleeping dog lie. You know, it was a way it was a one boy was a mistake. You didn't know what it was doing. She said she just got up and left the house. And as she was driving home, she was thinking. She kept calling her fiance. Finally, he picked up. She now told him, babes, did you rape your sister when she was 16? He was quiet on the phone for a long time. She said, I'm going to be here until you're ready to answer me. And he now said, I made a mistake. It was a mistake. You know, I'm sorry about it. I made a mistake. She now said, why didn't you tell me that this kind of thing happened? Why did your sister have to be the one to reach out to me and tell me about it? That the next thing he said is, hey, but I've apologized now. I've said I'm sorry. What else do you want me to say? Okay, what do you expect me to say? I'm sorry. And call the call.
The brother raped her, the sister-in-law, when she was 16. So it means she was an adolescent when that happened. Which, if the brother is older than her by 2 or 3 years, puts him to 18, yes, 16, 17, 18, 18 or 19, which is the later part of adolescence. He raped her and she gave birth, and that child is now being portrayed as their younger brother, which no is actually their sons. Having heard this, she decided to confront her mother-in-law to confirm. And the mother-in-law confirmed it by saying boys would be boys. This is exactly what I am saying, that at adolescent stage, the lessons we teach girls is usually very, very confusing and different from the lessons we teach boys. You see, boys have the freedom to go out to do whatever they want to do. I remember I made a video which is still on YouTube, still on that gender expectation. A parent told me that my son liked girls, so he was happy that the son liked girls at that age. While as innocent as it is, the core lessons of delayed gratification is not being taught to boys. The core lessons of body respect, self-respect, body dignity, self-dignity, moral preservation of self is not being taught to boys. It is rather being broken into girls' head and forced into girls' head. Self-control, which is also acquired through delayed gratification, is not being taught to boys. Why do you think at adolescent stage, boys are more likely to access pornography than girls due to their sexual drive? It happens, which is normal because of their hormones. But do you know where it becomes a problem? It becomes a problem when they are not taught discipline, they are not taught self-control, they are not taught that these feelings are normal and this is how they can protect themselves from it, so that they don't lose themselves while struggling to derive instant gratification.